Kaya and 1G everyone to the Smellswood YouTube channel. Hello everyone. So after my escapades of helping a mate yesterday, it took me a little bit longer than I thought, but we did end up with a couple of extra projects to work on. But today, getting back into this boat, and we're going to make sure we sort out all this rotten wood. We got some wood supplies yesterday, and yeah, going to do some measuring, cleaning, and get some old wood out. Alright guys, back at it again. We are at the point now where we've gutted the whole thing, cut all of the flooring out that was old, all of the benches and everything. And we've cleaned everything out with a good vacuum. And I guess now we can see what we have to do to get this little puppy ship shape. Alright guys, well we've got some supplies for tomorrow. I'm going to kick in early and see how far we can get with all this stuff. Alright, come learn to fiberglass with me. Alright guys, after a couple of bad days weather here in Perth, I'm back out and 2 again. Gonna get some fiberglass happening, gonna get some wood going. This is the wood that I'm going to be putting on the base, and then I'm going to be making stringers out of of that and this. So we'll see how far we can get. Hey guys, how's it going? I've just had a little bit of a thought. I haven't really ran you guys through any of the tools that I'm using or any of the materials or anything I've bought so far, just so that you guys can keep a little tally on how things are going. Right, so these are the tools that I'm using. I've got all my AEG stuff that I bought, for work. This isn't a sponsored ad or anything, but, if AEG wants to have a yarn with me, I'll be more than happy to pick up the phone. This is the old wood that I've already taken out. You can see she's getting pretty rotten. She's falling apart. And this is the new wood that I'm putting in. So now all of this wood I have collected from old house fires. So, yes, a lot of house fire wood, a lot of reused materials. The only thing new that I've brought so far has been the fiberglassing stuff. And that cost me, I think, around about 110 bucks. I just got the old pressure washer out here, but yeah, just a little food for thought for myself. Just thought, I better let you guys know how much I'm spending, what I'm investing, and yeah, how far this is going to have to be taken for me to actually get this little boat on the water. Thanks, guys. Alright guys, so just a little update on what I've been trying to gotten to this point. So I've got this the long stringer, or the, I don't know what you would call that, the bow runner, whatever that piece of wood is. I've been trying to get it back into there. But as you can see, right there, it's just hitting. And I still have a fair distance to go back. So that needs to actually touch the transom back there. I need to fiberglass that in. So, yes, this is what I've been So what I think I might have to do is I might have to do a little bit of recalculation. And I might have to get back to this one. Yes, we'll see how we go, guys. Wish me luck. Right, fellas, back with the stringer, the main stringer. Had a little bit of brainstorming. Idea. Going to plane the under edge of this one to match the thickness of this one, because, I mean, you might not be able to see it right now, but, oh, here, look. Here's the two pieces side by side. So that's the difference that I'm dealing with. So I'm going to be able to plane off a little bit and get that to wedge in there nicely. Alright everyone, so after a couple of days of terrible weather, finally got my main runner in. I don't know what it's called, but the main one in. We're at about a couple of mils back here. So I'm going to call that good. Got our drain there. I'm going to be taking that out. Going to take some of this foam out over here. And then on the end I did give it a little bit of a smacking. I've destroyed that a bit. But I'm going to put a whole fiberglass cap in the tip of that. I'm going to make a whole fiberglass piece for the support on the bow. Then we can start putting our new floor. Alright, so what we've got, this is the old one, and this is the new one. We've got a completely different thickness, so we're going to have a little bit more support, but I need to cut that angle at the end of the wood so it fits under the sides of the boat. Alright, wish me luck. Alright guys, so a little bit of an update. What I've had to do here is, let me just move this. So under here I've found that there's another whole fiberglass floor underneath the wood, stops there, and then there is also a topper for the strut there. So what I'm going to have to do is I've cut this down to length a little bit. I've cut the floor out. Now I should be able to hammer that down and get that into that spot, and then I can do some resin fiberglassing. Come with me to make some Alright guys, so a little update on the boat. I've gotten all these stringers in, except for that front one has a bit of a gap under there, so gonna have to redo that one tomorrow. I had to cut out a whole bunch of this extra, but we've got all the stringers in and they're all bolted in. Bugled all of these, pre-drilled all the holes and tried to countersink them a little bit, but as you guys might know, with Jarrah, it's quite hard. But yes, may have to lift that one up a little bit. But I think we are on the right track here. All the rest are pretty much exactly where we want them. And we can start thinking about putting the floor in soon. Wish me luck, guys. Thank you all for joining me on the Smellswood YouTube channel. I look forward to catching you next time.